Happy to be back with episode 46 of The Probe, brought to you by The Focus and sponsored by the best soul food restaurant in the world, Oohs and Ahs, which is located in Washington, D.C. at two locations off Georgia Avenue and U Street. In this episode, we take a look at Seattle's all-world guard, Jewell Loyd, ahead of Washington's first-round playoff matchup with the Storm. Loyd is one of the most naturally gifted dynamic scorers in the WNBA. She's lethal from all three levels of the floor. She can score with the ball and moving without the ball, and is oftentimes the closer for the Storm. You have to pay special attention to her at all times due to her being fully capable of putting points up on the board quick, fast, and in a hurry, which will ultimately lead to a victory for the Storm. We will take a look at Washington versus Seattle from earlier this season, in which the Mystics had some success containing Loyd in spurts, only to watch Loyd do what she does late in the fourth quarter to give Seattle the cushion they needed to hold on for the win that resulted in home court advantage in this series between the two teams. Loyd receives an inbound pass from Sue Bird when Natasha Cloud defending. Loyd tries to dribble Cloud into a Tina Charles screen, but Cloud does a good job of fighting to get over the screen and stay close to Loyd. Loyd has a space for a jumper due to Shakira also playing too far off of her. However, with Cloud still being close enough to contest and Atkins sliding over the crowd, Loyd is forced into a quick shot which she misses. She tries to follow with an offensive rebound and putback, but misses and falls out of bounds. Outside of Austin laying off too far, this is a quality sequence by Washington defensively on Loyd. Loyd has the ball at the top of the key, once again being defended by Cloud. This time, Breanna Stewart, with Maisha Hines-Allen defending Stewart, runs to set a screen on Cloud. Loyd goes quick around Stewart's screen, and with Hines-Allen also giving her too much airspace, Loyd quickly elevates for a jumper, which she misses. Washington dodged a bullet right here. This is a forecast of what's to come later in the game, and it would be detrimental for Washington. Sue Bird passes to Loyd curling out from the baseline with Cloud defending her. Loyd dribbles out to give Ezzy McBegor time to get her a spot for a quick sideline action. Loyd engages in a quick give and go with McBegor on the sideline. Cloud does a great job of staying close with Loyd, but once again, Austin is giving too much space to Loyd, as Cloud is forced to rotate to McGregor to prevent a potential roll to the basket. Loyd shoots a quick jump over Austin and knocks it down. It's clear at this point Seattle is calling sets for Loyd to attack Washington's bigs, in which they feel they have the advantage. They're testing Austin's experience and poise, Delanon's mobility, and Hines-Allen discipline on the defensive end. These are early game looks to set things up for Loyd later in the game. Let's fast forward to the fourth quarter. Sue Bird is at the top of the key as Loyd curls off Stewart's screen. Delanon does a good job of showing a hand in the passing lane of a potential pass to Loyd, cutting back door, which forces Bird to pass to Stewart. Cloud is forced to switch on to Stewart, and Delanon has to pick up Loyd. Loyd brings Delanon out on the perimeter, and Stewart goes down to the block to post up Cloud. Loyd fakes a pass into the post of Stewart. Delanon bites on it just enough to give Loyd the daylight she needs to rise up and hit a big three. Here, Washington has battled back from a double-digit deficit and trailed by 5, 74-69, with 1:51 left. Sue Bird is being defended by Alicia Clark. Loyd is set up in the corner with Cloud defending her. Bird dribbles off a Tina Charles screen, forcing a switch with Austin now defending her. Bird pulls the ball back out and passes to Loyd with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Loyd dribbles left, crosses over on Cloud, who is still glued to her. Elevates for a contested jumper, and she nails it. Cloud couldn't have played defense any better than that. This shot was set up by the constant looks Loyd got throughout the game, where she had space to zero in the basket and get in the rhythm. Loyd fakes like she is running across the lane, and she cuts back around the Tina Charles screen. Burrow passes to Loyd, curling with Cloud in hot pursuit, although a step behind. Loyd receives the pass and sees Austin still next to Charles, and Cloud is step behind. So instead of settling for a three, Loyd hesitates and drives to the basket and hits a tough left-hand layup over Austin. As I said earlier, the Storm were fully confident in the situation where Washington bigs will have to make decisions defensively on staying with Charles or Stewart or being on the island with Loyd, which takes them out of their comfort zone. Loyd scored 7 of Seattle's 25 fourth-quarter points in the last 4:50 of the game on 3 of 4 shooting to close out the Mystics at home, securing home court in their first-round matchup. She found the rhythm early by testing Washington bigs who were hesitant to hedge out and take away her airspace due to the respect for her quickness of getting to the basket and the mismatch problems that their assignments, Tina Charles and Brianna Stewart, will pose on potential switches with the Mystics guards. Washington's bigs have to hedge out better to give Cloud, Atkins, Clark, Machida, Walker Kimbrough time to get back to Lloyd. Although Cloud did a good job throughout the game of fighting and get over screens, it's unrealistic to expect her to stay with Lloyd every time. The Mystics bigs also have to take away airspace if and when they do find themselves on the island with Lloyd. As we've seen in this episode, Lloyd doesn't need much to get going, and if she does, it can be a long night. It's a best-of-3 series. Limiting Lloyd will have a big impact on who wins the series, especially with limiting her in the clutch. Washington has the depth. They have to focus and execute. I know it's easier said than done. However, if Washington wants to advance, slowing down Lloyd is a great way to make advancing a reality.